Hey guys, and welcome to the Rule Thirds podcast. My name is Max.
My name is Sean.
And my name is Larry.
How you guys doing today?
Good. In the midst of final project, but stressed.
Same.
But,
I have a final film due very soon.
Yeah, I'm working on my senior thesis right now, and the big thing is that, I have to get it done as soon as possible. I have to get a first draft done as soon as possible so that we can start getting crew members for the next semester's shooting. And considering how many film projects there always are, people are going to be busy, so it's a race against the clock. But I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to, right after this podcast, I'm going to finish my first draft, and I'm going to grab my producer, and it's going to be awesome. Hopefully. So, today we're not reviewing a movie. There's no real movie out aside from one that maybe you and I will talk about at some point, Larry.
Yeah.
But no, there is something else. Movie trailers. And there's two specific ones that we're going to talk about today. Ones that involve that very obscure art genre, the superhero movie. And they're two big ones for next year, for 2016. Perhaps the two biggest superhero films of next year. Doctor Strange and Suicide Squad be darned, I guess.
We're talking Apocalypse.
Oh my god, that's also
and
happening.
Deadpool.
All right. Let's not...
I think that's it. No, Gambit? No, Gambit's next.
Apocalypse?
There's a lot.
Yeah,
X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. So, but there's no Apocalypse trailer yet, which is interesting.
It's coming with Star Wars.
Yep.
Oh, of course it is.
It was confirmed. Yeah.
Speaking of, we're going to be doing the two trailers, one of which was supposed to debut with The Force Awakens, but decided to come a month early. And that is the first trailer we're talking about today, Captain America Civil War. So, cards on the table, how is this trailer?
Wait. It's community section?
Oh, yeah. That was intentional because I always intentionally forget to reference the community segment.
All right. How this clicking over, so let's just do the community segment. All right. There was the community segment. It's been quiet this week.
Nice.
But quiet.
Well, you guys, if you haven't already, go check out the last episode we did, which was the Mockingjay Good Dinosaur double review.
At least as of recorded.
Yeah. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to it yet, but I am going to this week.
Anyway, I wanted to bring it up because I didn't want it to be forgotten, but it didn't really happen either. So I just, you were not neglected. You neglected us, audience. Mm-hmm. How dare you?
Ugh, terrible.
Anyway. Continue.
Civil War trailer.
Civil War trailer. What did you guys think?
It's really good.
Good, not great.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one, Sean. It was good trailer, good moments, but not a great one. Not one like the first Age of Ultron trailer or...
I rewatched that a few days ago. I love it. It reminded me how much I love that trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So
I thought it was pretty good. I don't have many complaints.
I just think it moves a little weirdly. Like, it doesn't get big until the very end, and even then, it feels a little...
Because it's the first trailer. Like, I think it's a trailer that's trying to be, like, theatrical when, like, this is the first, and without giving much away that we haven't already seen in other trailers because it's the first one.
Yeah, it suffered a little bit of just kind of, it didn't feel as strong moving or drama or action. Like, nothing big was there for a while. And that doesn't mean just spectacle, but though that can be it. But more just like the stakes, the drama. It didn't feel big for a while, So I guess that would be it. But it's a good trailer.
Mm-hmm. It was good.
I think that this trailer, I think, does a really good job of just giving us the overall conflict, while not really necessarily giving away its resolution. Or really anything else about that. I think it's like you'd think it'd be a little complicated given the whole government situation and there's Bucky over here, but nope, it's pretty simple. Just Captain America's worried about Bucky, and then the government wants to control them, and that gets in the way of Bucky. So,
I mean, it's a little disappointing, but also probably for the best that we're taking one of the biggest in scope comic book stories and making it very small, just about Bucky. Yeah. Because on one hand, it's a little disappointing that it's not this massive, worldwide battle with, the heroes, all that.
But isn't that what, kind of doomed the first comic?
Yeah,
Civil War comic? Because
said, people, recently it's kind of been reevaluated, the Civil War storyline, and it's not well liked as much. And that would feel weird as a follow-up. And I wanted to start by saying I take back what I said when I said that Civil War should have been the second Avengers movie, because now that I've seen the context they've given the movie, this is clearly a Captain America movie, for better or worse. And so the better part is that it's going to be probably much better in its emotional grounding and like through line from the first Captain Winter Soldier to this. So it's definitely part of the Captain series. That's going to feel right. It's going to fit right in. It even follows up Age of Ultron well, which we'll get to, and it's going to be nice. It is unfortunate we're never going to get something on the scale of the comic storyline.
Well, okay, here's the thing, though. Like, dang. Civil War was one of the first comic stories I ever learned about, like, growing up. And I was like, oh my god. Like, all superheroes fighting each other. That's amazing. And then I looked up and, like, nobody liked it. I was like, oh man. So, I think they're taking the core elements of Civil War, like the parts that worked, and infusing it with the parts that worked with the MCU, and that's what we're getting in the Civil War trailer, or in the Civil War film.
Really, it's called Civil War. It's called Civil War because the heroes disagree and fight each other. The actual like plot background isn't there. It's not there. But I think that's okay. You know, it's kind of like they wrote a Captain America movie, the third movie. And they're like, oh, what's like the conflict about Bucky? You know, it says, oh, let's have like, what about like Iron Man? Like this whole like Sokovia Accords thing and that Brennan. And then they realized, well, dang, if Captain America's going to be fighting Iron Man, we kind of have to call it Civil War. You know, it kind of feels like they came up with the story and then the name kind of had to come about instead of the other way around, where they watered down Civil War into something that the MCU could handle, which is good. It doesn't feel like it was, let's try to do as best we can to the comic. No, it's their own story. It makes it fits.
That's a good point. And what I'm really excited about with this film is just how the relationships will be tested. It's as we saw in the trailer. We got some genuine like side, like taking sides. It's not just like you look at that first picture, which is an amazing picture of all the heroes fighting each other, but it looks more just like just kind of like a self-contained like little thing. This is actually giving a lot of grounded context to that, especially Cap versus Black Widow, which is going to break my heart. Yeah, because those two are like best buddies.
Black Widow's probably my most like the character I'm most interested in for this movie because she's going. I like the character to start, but more importantly, she is against both Captain America, who built their relationship throughout Winter Soldier and a little bit of Age of Ultron, and even Avengers, but specifically Winter Soldier. But she's also going up against Hawkeye, who's like, her best friend forever and stuff, like strongest brother in arms, that kind of thing. Yeah. Like that's the whole point of Avengers is she's trying to get him back. It's just kind of like, what is that going to do? That's going to be really interesting. She's going up against the two, people set up to be her really only friends. She kind of super spy doesn't really have room for many friends. So
it's true. And speaking of Black Widow, speaking of character relationships, I just want to point out, you guys saw the story about the screenwriters explain why the Hulk isn't in Civil War, right?
No.
Oh, yeah, they just explained, because whoever had Hulk would win.
That's fair. Probably the same reason Thor isn't there.
Now, do you think that's really why smart. Hulk left? Like, do you think that's why Hulk left in Age of Ultron, so he would not be around for Civil War?
Probably Marvel said, we're going to do Civil War, we can't have Hulk, and they probably wanted him for Ragnarok anyway, so they just shot him into space.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fine. It didn't feel too much like just for Civil War, if that's what you're kind of asking. But
yeah.
It fit Age of Ultron with the whole, let's run away, but she has to stay. It fit, but I do see kind of that point where it's like, you guys just didn't want Hulk there to be OP.
I think the same coincidence. I would say.
I think the same also goes for Thor, just because like he could just summon in like lightning and fry Tony Stark or whatever.
But at the same time, I feel like Thor doesn't. I feel like Thor would find it so petty.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not after.
Maybe he'll make a cameo and be like, I can't do this. Pathetic.
Yeah.
You mortals and your petty fighting.
Yeah. Do you mind if I get into a few specifics here on the trailer?
Yeah, sure.
I like that it opened with the same scene that was the post-credit scene of Ant-Man.
Yeah,
goes to show it was important.
And man, that confirmed how not color corrected that post-credit scene is. It looks drastically different. I kind of noticed that. It looked a little grayed. It just didn't look quite right because it was probably shot like a week before release.
Ant-Man is out on Blu-ray. It may have already come out by the time the podcast is up. I wonder if they color corrected that scene
for that release. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, for the Blu-ray release. I hope so. I mean, that would just be nice. That sort of thing.
Evans did a great subtle. The eyebrow raise when Bucky remembers him. That's a great shot. Good use for the trailer. Got across the emotion and a great performance from Evans, it looks like. I mean, he's always good, so. Yeah. Ross is interesting. Thunderbolt Ross.
Oh yeah, right.
I still can't
He's
believe
back.
he's back.
Because this is okay, guys. This is like Star Wars Episode 7 acknowledging the prequels. I mean, Marvel's
Yeah.
bringing back the Incredible Hulk stuff. This is
Yeah,
interesting.
look, and
Everybody
then,
just
not say
kind
the
of-
Incredible Hulk is like a Star Wars people. It's not. It's a good movie.
It's an okay movie.
Yeah, but I think the point of the matter is like nobody really likes to acknowledge that the Incredible Hulk is technically part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It's not
because-
technically. It is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The ending of the movie is Tony Stark talking to Ross.
Okay,
Like that's
okay, but the point of the matter is the movie. It's not as well liked as several of
Yeah.
the other films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is why nobody. It's kind of the black sheep in a sense.
It is.
So to bring back a character and such an obscure character, really in the universe in general, is interesting.
And I think it's a good sign.
It's dedication.
I think it's a good sign because this is
Absolutely.
not this random, not even full villain, but kind of on the villain side of probably the least liked MCU movie. It was one of the earliest ones, from however many years ago. Bringing that back is not something that the Disney executives were slamming their fists demanding. Do it for the fans. Throw this in unnecessarily. The fans would want it. No, it seems like they wanted this character in their story. This wasn't commercially driven. That doesn't make sense. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think he It's weird because speaking of villain, we don't see Daniel Bruhl's character.
Yes,
What is his
we
name?
do. I want to say Baron Zemo.
Wait, did you say we
Yeah.
do see him?
No, we don't.
Baron
Okay.
Zemo.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
don't see him.
Also,
Look, we don't see his cool thing in the movie, which like his mask thing.
I don't think we've seen anything of his mask. We don't know what
No,
it
no,
looks like.
it's confirmed that mask thing in the comics is not going to be in the movie. That makes me sad because the mask is cool.
we also don't see Martin Freeman, which is a
we
little
do.
surprise. We do
Kind of. Yeah, he's in a shot. When Falcon and Captain are walking to give up their shield, his shield and wing, he's on the right. You can pause just right, you can see him. It's
okay.
definitely...
Really?
Well,
Wait,
he's
Martin
not,
Freeman's in
like-
the trailer?
Yeah.
He's not
Holy
like
crap.
spotlighted.
Do we
He's
know
not
what he
really
is
given
yet?
the time.
No, just a government worker, apparently.
But
Also, Crossbones is in there for like a third of a second, but not focused on. He's just in the background of some troops at the beginning. You
Yeah.
can pause it and look. Just talking about the whole handing over the shield and stuff. I love this the use of the Sokovia Accords.
Yes.
I love that because it makes
You guys
so much
saw
sense.
that document, right? It's in the MCU Phase 2 box set.
Yes. Oh, what they all
Yeah.
have to sign. Yeah. Like, it was just so smart. Age of Ultron. Use it. That was a big deal. It was great to use that in the direct follow-up.
Makes
I mean,
a lot
I
of
guess
sense,
Ant-Man's
yeah.
a direct follow-up, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. I will say this, though. We'll say this if I'm going to be completely honest. Having the two sides run at each other is kind of... It's a little bit silly, even by Marvel Studio standards.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that airport stuff. Now, most likely, again, this is probably not the case. Most likely, special effects aren't done. They don't want to show all the cool stuff. A lot of reasons why we haven't seen a lot of the other heroes. But it does raise a little bit of concern that we don't see them like as a group, except in like the airport. Like, I don't want that to be the extent of the Civil War, where it's just Captain and Bucky storyline with Baron Zemo and Crossbones, and Iron Man comes in every once in a while, and then when all the heroes actually fight, it's one battle in an airport. It just, I'm worried. But again, it's most likely just visual effects aren't finished. Like, we didn't see Vision because he's probably not done. He's probably, not
Yeah, which
rendered.
side is he on again? I forget. He's not
Iron Man's.
neutral.
He's on Iron
Okay,
Man's.
yeah.
No, the neutral one is Black Panther, who we can talk about now if you want.
Oh,
Good
yeah, that's
segue.
right. Black Panther. Yeah. Wait, no. He's on Tony's side.
No, he's
not
actually neutral. They confirmed he's neutral. He does
Oh.
kick Bucky in the face, though.
Yeah,
in the trailer.
that was what I was a little confused about, because we see he's clearly has some intent of some
seems-
kind within this conflict.
It seems like neutral doesn't mean he's fighting neither side. It means he's fighting both.
Okay,
He's got his
sure.
own thing going. Is kind of what
I'm
we're
down with that.
looking at here.
He looks so awesome. I think the shots with him in this trailer are some of the highlights, in my opinion.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
are some
Great
still
costume.
like
That costume, though.
Great.
Yeah, there are some
costume.
stills that make his costume look better, though. They're more like lines and stuff. It's a little more defined. But yeah, they're good. It's a great inclusion. Good chase sequence. It was always fun. It's funny when he's out running Captain America.
That's
wanted
amazing.
I want to run by, go on your left.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Falcon, I love his new, his...
Yeah. Yeah, that great shot, too, where it's
Yeah.
a spin kick and retracts the wings.
I should give some context here. Captain America and Falcon are my two favorite heroes, ever. So, obviously I'm excited for this, but yeah, Falcon looks great. I love his, hit a little bit more focus on the red, which I think we saw in Ant-Man, didn't we?
Yeah, that's the same look at the end of Ant-Man.
Which is fine. I have no problem. By the way, we
mean,
didn't see Ant-Man. That's right. He's in this movie, too.
Except all the jokes where they're just, pointing to random spots saying, there's Ant-Man. But yeah, no, we didn't see Ant-Man.
That's another
Yeah.
character. It's so interesting
Ant-Man.
with this trailer. We see so many characters, and yet there's so many characters we have yet to see.
I mean,
I want to address the big, or the small, very small elephant in the room in a second. But, like, they're giving us a lot. I can tell that this movie's production might be a bit rushed. Not its, like, writing or anything, but, like, its production. Like, okay, we gotta get this going because, again, like, the last time we had a big movie, a big Marvel movie that came out in May, the Age of Ultron trailer was out in October. It is December now.
well, Avengers had more build-up behind it at the time. They expected it to be bigger than it was. I mean,
That's
again,
true,
it was
but this is
huge,
still
but-
all the, like, this is still, like, a good, like, 80% of Marvel heroes fighting each other. Like, I think that's still a really big deal. This movie's going to do extremely well because of that.
It's gonna.
No, obviously.
By the way, can I ask, what team are you guys on?
Depending, from what I understand, Iron Man. It depends on how they present both sides, but in interviews they do say it's balanced. They didn't want it to be Captain's the bad guy. He is the antagonist, and Captain's our protagonist. But Iron Man is not the villain. He's not.
I want to piggyback on that idea because this trailer kind of presents Iron Man as like the guy we're not supposed to side with.
I don't know,
because we're sort of like, oh man, we feel so bad for Cap, and like he's just trying to save his friend, and then Iron Man comes and is like, hey buddy, I just want to punch you in your teeth, like it's sort of like that's not. I mean, and eventually, later in the trailer, we get a very good shot with him and his buddy Colonel. What's the official character's
Colonel
name?
Rhodes, War Machine.
Colonel Rhodes, who Rhodey, who is probably going to kick the bucket, and then.
If he actually dies, they wouldn't show it in the trailer. That's kind of the rule. If they show something, what? That happened? It doesn't. That's kind of the rule of trailers.
I know, but that
we'll
shot
talk
is
about
just,
that in a bit.
That shot is just so... That shot is just so indicative, especially with the line that comes right after it. It makes his situation way more relatable if his best friend dies and Captain's trying to save his own. But
maybe, I just feel like that would be kind of a big spoiler, but maybe that's the point. Maybe people don't expect it to actually be real, so it's not really spoiling because we still don't know when we go in.
Right, but I think that I really hope that maybe in the future we kind of get to feel a little bit more for Iron Man because here I don't like how he's sort of being portrayed as his character is like the kind of the jerky. My side is clearly better than yours.
Well, so is Cap, and I think I've always had this knee-jerk negative reaction to the moral characters because oftentimes they're very much not the realists. And I realized that watching the prequels, I'm not a huge fan of the Jedi Order because they're kind of like this. They're a bit full of themselves because they're just so good. And so with Captain having this speech about he's my friend, he didn't do anything wrong, I don't see it that way. I have this reaction to say he's naive. That's my immediate reaction. So I'm with Iron Man on this side of the realist, where it's like, hey, we kind of have to make sure Sokovia doesn't happen again. Literally, a city was in the sky, you guys. We got to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Okay, see, if they had maybe portrayed it that way in the trailer, I wouldn't be so a little skeptical. But the trailer just sort of paints it as Iron Man's the meanie, and Cap's just trying to save his friend. It's
maybe it's just my inclination to like Iron Man that I didn't see it that way.
And
also,
I like Iron Man too.
It's a good interview with Robert Downey Jr. and he said that the antagonist role fit perfectly because he's always seen Tony as the antagonist to his own story. He's kind of ruining himself, so I can buy him being the antagonist. So it fit well to me.
I want him to die.
Iron Man?
I love Iron Man to death, but I want him to have a good send-off here.
Nope.
Like, and it's not even Cap who does it. He does it to himself.
We'll get there. We'll get to the major death of this movie.
No, it's not gonna. No.
Should we get there now?
Oh, it's happening. It's so happening.
No.
Okay,
no. Actually, let me just highlight. He was my friend. He's my friend. So was I. That's like the highlight of the trailer.
That sold it. That sold me on the movie.
Line.
I mean, okay, let's be honest here. I was totally sold on the movie, but that really sold.
I was like, oh my god, this movie's gonna be.
And arguably the trio fight at the end too, in my opinion, was great.
Honestly, that was a little underwhelming to me, but whatever.
Most violent game of frisbee ever put on film.
Yep. I just love the momentum of it, like punch, 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 punch. It just felt so. Great.
Hopefully, that's not like the extent of what the fight's going to be like.
Exactly. I'm hoping the trailer isn't showing us the good stuff.
Actually, can I say something bad real quick before we get to the whole, plot speculation? Yeah. I think I should have expected this. I don't know why I didn't, but I think this movie just looks a little bit too gray.
Really?
Just
I love how it looks.
See, I want it. Maybe it's just because there's so many Marvel villains in there. I want it to be more colorful. And like in Winter Soldier, it was like a very gray movie because it was actually all about the grayness of governmental systems and all that stuff, and that's what made it great. This feels like a little bit like obligatory, like, oh, it's another Russo brothers, Marvel Studios project. That means it's gonna have like a very, sort of cold look to it.
I liked it.
I mean, maybe it's not all color corrected, and it's not really going to get in the way of my enjoyment of the film, obviously. So I don't know, but let me think.
Helicopter was intense.
Yeah,
and holding a helicopter from taking off.
That's like, dang.
Yeah.
Never underestimate his strength. So,
all right,
let's talk about who dies.
Okay, can I just give this speech? Okay. In the comic book storyline, Civil War, Captain America is killed.
Yep.
This is a fact. Actually, false. It was a time bullet or some crap like that, because comics are awful. Anyway, I said it. I'm sorry, comics fans. It's just, you guys pull some crap.
Yep, definitely.
So, in the Civil War comic, he dies. Captain dies. And who kills him? Well, it's actually two people that kill him. One is called Agent 13, and the other culprit is Crossbones. And both of those people were introduced in Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Agent 13 being Sharon Carter. And she's even called Agent 13. That's not even just reusing the name. That's the name she's using, Agent
Carter.
13. Even in Civil War, she's on the cast as Agent 13. And now Crossbones is full of crossbones. Like, he's burned, he's got his mask, all that. Okay, after Captain dies, he's got to be replaced. And throughout Marvel Comics, two people have replaced Steve Rogers as Captain America. One of them is Sam Wilson, and one of them is Bucky Barnes. Both of these characters were introduced in, wait for it, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Well, okay, I guess Bucky was in the first one.
He's dead.
Now, all right,
okay,
I'm
not done. This is not the extent of my evidence. It was before this trailer. But this trailer made it just so much more obvious.
What?
Because, look, Sam Wilson is cool. He's not going to become the next captain. I don't think they're going to jump right to Sam Wilson.
No, they just make a Falcon movie, because Falcon's awesome.
I'd be down with a Falcon movie, but they're not going to make him the next captain. I don't see it happening. That means it's going to be Bucky. And so here's what they did. They took the storyline in which Captain dies, and they have recentered it around the character that is being set up to replace him one day. This character, Bucky, will get so much more screen time than he would in the comic Civil War if they tried to redo that. Because the plot is focused on him. The drama is focused around Bucky. He's going to get so much attention, so much development if, the Russos pull it off, which I think they will. And it's a storyline where Captain dies. It seems so obvious to me. He's the focus. He's going to get the development. Captain dies at the end. Bucky takes over.
He dies. He's going to die.
He's going to die.
He's so going to die.
I don't...
And it's not even that. Just the idea of, like, Captain America. I feel like the movie is going to set up him having to sacrifice himself to save his best friend. Like, sort of a martyrdom, in a sense.
And it's not going to be... Iron Man's not going to kill him.
It
could be Crossbones. It could be Agent 13, brainwashed by Hydra. I think that's what it was in the comics.
Here's what happened. Like, it might be like Iron Man's sort of like, they're fighting, and then like somebody else, or like maybe it's Baron von Zemo.
Yeah, maybe Zemo.
Like Zemo, or it's Crossbones, or it's, I don't know how it's Agent 13. Like, mind control is still not a thing that's been really introduced outside of
the Loki scepter
or Kilgrave. I mean,
or Scarlet Witch. Well, actually, Kilgrave has like some weird chemical thing. It's not really mind control. I read about it. It's kind of weird. I haven't seen the show though, so no spoilers. Just the first episode.
Best show of the year. What I get the sense that if it's going to happen, like, they'll be in the middle of a fight, and then Cap dies, and Iron Man's like, no, and then he destroys the villain or whatever, and he's like, now I understand what Cap was fighting for. Maybe he doesn't like fully take Cap's side, but
yeah. And here's the thing: if they want to do a twist, yes, Iron Man could die in Civil War. That would be very interesting. But he's
already got a whole trilogy of movies.
At the end of the day, no matter who dies, they're both going to be in Infinity War.
What?
That's the thing.
Probably,
they're both going to be in Infinity War. It's going to be hard to get away with not having Captain America or Iron Man, either or.
Are they going to bring them back from the dead or something? What if they both die? Oh my God.
There's going to probably be some Infinity Gem crap pulled. They're probably, again, I think Captain's going to die. I also think he'll be brought back at like the end of Infinity War Part 1, like to set up Part 2. Or maybe right at the beginning.
They're going to pull up Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Where he comes out and says, so tell me, what's become of my country?
Where they bring back Barbossa after 2.
Yep. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that actually being really fun.
All right. I want to move on to the next trailer soon, but I just want to point out the small insect-sized elephant in the room. Spider-Man is nowhere to be found. I cannot believe people are surprised by that.
Well, here's what's funny. I thought it was confirmed it was in Civil War, but apparently it was only officially confirmed by Robert Downey Jr. like 3 days ago, as of recording.
What? Yeah, that's right. No, I thought this was confirmed long ago.
I think it was just one of those things that had just been leaked / rumored / so freaking obvious that we just accepted as fact, kind of like something in the next trailer.
Let's wait for that.
We're going to wait. And so it felt like it was confirmed. But yeah, we finally got confirmation that it's in the movie, but no, not in the trailer. And I doubt we'll get it. Maybe we'll get something like Vision in the Age of Ultron trailer, where we see like darkly lit of his face and his eyes opening, right? We saw that with
and
Vision,
we don't get a whole poster of him.
No.
Like, seriously. They screwed that up.
I wouldn't be surprised if like maybe in one shot we just see like a web hit a wall. And
yeah,
then,
there's like something
boom.
swinging.
It's going to be post-credits, guys. There's no way you can have
What? No,
the most
he's in the
famous
movie.
Marvel
he's
character
in
of all
the movie.
time.
He's in the movie. Peter Parker.
Well, the post-credit scene is still in the movie.
Yeah, to cast him, they did screen tests with Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. He's clearly involved in Civil War.
Whoa, are you serious? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and
I think it'd be like the three of them in the same place.
Yeah, his chemistry with Robert Downey Jr., Tom Holland's chemistry with Robert Downey Jr. is what got him the role.
You don't think... Okay. Here's a weird thing. You don't think they're going to have, like, the events of Civil War, like, kind of serve as a weird catalyst for the origin story, right?
Ooh.
Like...
That could be interesting. Like, this is Spider-Man's origin movie? Whoa. No one would see that coming.
How
I don't want an origin movie.
In?
We've got two of those. We already know the story of Peter Parker. We don't need any of that. But, like... I don't know if that would be interesting. I think that would be a little bit, like, forced.
I just had this great, by great, I mean terrible, image of, like, you know, you redo the scene in the comic line where Captain America is giving this speech, right? Agent 13 is ready to shoot. Crossbones has his gun. Both shoot him. It's stupid. One of them is a time bullet. Again, comics, you're terrible. And, like, he's about to shoot. And then Crossbones fires a sniper rifle. And this man leaves in front of the bullet to save Captain. It's like, well, why did you save me? Who are you? He's like, oh, my name is Uncle Ben. Blah, dies.
What?
Oh, my God.
That's dumb.
It would be the best because
That's
it's terrible.
So
That's
dumb.
D-U-M-M.
You realize it was a joke?
Yeah, I know.
Please.
I know, but
okay.
God, I didn't even know that.
That would have just been so... Now I hope they do it because it's so dumb. Like, that's how Uncle Ben dies. Anyway.
I thought you were about to say, like, and then a web comes out of nowhere and, like...
So webs
like,
the bullet?
No, I just think
it's like,
shot.
oh my God, it's Spider-Man!
I just think the
But
perfect
by the way,
shot,
I don't
like
really think we're going to see Spider-Man in any of the, like, the marketing. Like,
No.
we all know he's going to be in the movie. We'll just, like, that'll be the big, reveal.
We are going to get a tease and confirmation that he is in it, so people go see it because Spider-Man's popular. We won't see him fully. I doubt it.
I don't know.
One more thing I gotta ask. You guys think the whole Vision Scarlet Witch thing, like...
Oh, it's happening.
Really, do you really think that's going to be, like...
Sure.
You can't stop it.
They're on opposite sides, right?
They go and bang. They go and bang.
Are they on the same side?
No, but that's what
right?
makes it better. It is the forbidden love.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I think
it'll be
good. Great.
It'll be.
Oh, they're not going to turn this into Romeo and Juliet, right?
Well, no, because those are two minor characters. It's not going to be in this movie, but it's going to happen.
Oh yeah,
it's
sooner
gonna
or
happen.
later.
Everyone's like, well, that's just a weird comic booky thing. The movies will never do. Yeah, how about that shot in Age of Ultron where Vision literally swoops in and sweeps her off her feet? Come on. Come on. Guys.
Yeah,
anyway.
seriously.
Should we move on to the other epic bromance?
Let's talk about the other trailer we got going.
Yeah. I'm wondering now that it's called Civil War. I just watched this movie recently. I want to see an MCU equivalent to Gone with the Wind.
No.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
No, is that Vision Scarlet Witch?
I mean,
Scarlet,
maybe.
right?
I don't know.
Scarlet? Her name's Scarlet.
Yeah.
Batman
It worked. It worked.
Yeah.
Batman
so I'm.
versus
Oh, and for the
Superman.
record, I'm on Team Cap. # Team Cap.
Ooh. Oh, and
Every
you
day.
know they're going to play that up when the movie gets close to release.
Well, it's
wait,
already happened.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. If Max is Team Captain and Sean is Team Iron Man, can I be Black Panther?
Or Spider-Man, depending on how major he is and how neutral he is.
I'm neutral. No, I'm Black Panther. I'm calling it. I'm gonna.
But
be
you're
Team
also
Black
not
Panther.
a prince of a, isolationist, super rich, advanced nation. So.
Okay, well, you're
He
not a
also has
billionaire
spider powers,
playboy
so we're kind of stuck.
philanthropist.
Also, you don't have a super tech suit, and I don't have super soldier serum. So it's like none of us have any of these things, to be quite honest.
Fine. Anyway, we should move on. To
All
the
right,
next.
so
Team Black Panther.
This one, I think, is a little bit more interesting because Civil War trailer was extremely well received by everybody. Like,
yes.
Some people were like a little bit underwhelmed or whatever, but like for the most part, it was doing very well. It broke the highest record number of views on a trailer online.
Yeah, of course it did.
61 million in like 24 hours. Incredible.
That's a lot.
It did force me to give views to a Jimmy Kimmel video, though, so...
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then, again, on Jimmy Kimmel, which I'm pretty sure this is the only reason why people watch Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, basically.
Warner Brothers decided to remind everybody that they are still doing a superhero movie, because if you guys didn't notice, they haven't really been talking much about their stuff outside of their other big movie coming out in August. Of course, I'm talking about the second theatrical trailer for Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Boom.
All right. So I have a thesis statement for this one. Can I say it? Now, I don't like to have expectations. I don't like to judge movies based off trailers because that's dumb. But based on what I've seen, Dawn of Justice is probably going to be a mess, and I'm probably going to like it. I'm probably going to enjoy Dawn of Justice.
That's fair.
Do you guys have like a thesis statement like that?
My thesis statement is it's going to be so interesting.
It's gonna spark discussion, which I like.
Like, I don't see this being a boring movie. It's either going to be like really bad, it's going to fall apart and just be silly, and we can't take any of the drama seriously, and it's just terribly mishandled, just broody, beating chests, manly men fighting each other, or it's going to be like legitimately awesome. And because that opening scene was like, I was legitimately surprised. That opening scene, the discussion between Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent, aka Batman Superman, in case you didn't know, sorry for spoiling it. I was legitimately shocked because like I was expecting a Man of Steel sequel, and I was like, what is this? Genuine drama, character driven conflict? What is this?
Would you?
What? Well, okay. Clearly, it was Chris Terrio's part of the script, not Mr. Goyer's part of the script, but I was impressed, and I love that it opened with just a verbal back and forth, because then the rest of the trailer is them punching each other, and that was cool
I personally think that's a little bit dumb, though. And hear me out on this. The whole thing with Batman vs. Superman is that we have two people who are fighting each other based on their identity, based on their superhero identities. First off, why does Lex Luthor, who looks like a shrimp, looks like a...
we'll get to Lex, don't worry.
A little bit of a... Sorry,
we'll
my nose is stuffy. It's kind of like... How is he introducing these guys as if they're two big icons when they are supposed to be like on the down low? I mean, Bruce Wayne, yeah, he's really big, but Clark Kent's just a reporter.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Clark Kent did like an expose on him, and like that's how he knows him. Like it's easy to explain how he knows.
Yeah,
Clark
and
Kent.
it's just like Clark Kent meets Bruce Banner, like it's the meeting of the century, or something like that. It's like stop forcing this. We already know. We already like buy the whole they're gonna like fight each other, or whatever thing. Why do we need to see them like in all aspects? I think that's the dumbest part of the trailer, honestly.
Right? That was the best part. That like it was legitimately like well written and acted. Like Ben Affleck,
Yeah.
I liked his performance a lot in just these clips. Like there's
No,
the
I
subtle smirk.
I like the execution. I don't like the concept.
Well, I do
That's
because it shows that the conflict it's actually quite good. The conflict isn't you're not responsible because Batman isn't either. They're both equally above the law doing their own vigilante stuff. It's more just an issue of Batman's the one without powers. Batman's the one that like is always have to use his wits, always the underdog in fights. He doesn't have anything up on his enemy. He has to do it himself.
Now,
God.
To be fair, maybe that scene takes place after the unmasking that we see in the
did
trailer.
you guys get the idea that they knew each other?
Yeah, that might be what this is, though. Like I mean, and Batman just kind of could tell Clark Kent was Superman because he looked at his face. And he's like, "Oh, so you're that guy?"
Yes,
okay.
I think that Batman figured it out instantly because he's Batman, and I know that explanation's annoying, but come on, he's not
Batman. He's Batman.
But I think, and then Superman can see under his mask, right? But how is he going to find what face he saw? And so what if he saw under Batman's mask, saw his face, is like, oh, you're that guy. And then he's reporting at this, gala or whatever he's at Lex Luthor's mansion. And suddenly this guy steps out, like, oh man, that's Batman. And then he turns to this guy's like, who's that? Because he wants to know who Batman is. Because he recognizes his face but can never put a name to it. And so then when he sees the guy, boom. And so then they have their conversation where they both have to they both know who each other is. That's the kind of the idea I got. Maybe I'm off.
I think it would add a lot. It would great dynamic. Great dynamic right there.
Yeah, because otherwise, if they just don't like each other right when they meet for the first time, it's just kind of dumb.
Well, no, I think that actually would work because they are ideologically opposed. Because they are Batman and Superman. Batman does think that Superman is being treated like this savior when people don't realize how easily he could ruin everything, and that he doesn't have this responsibility, he doesn't understand what it means because he can kind of do anything with the snap of his finger. And Clark Kent is going to be the Boy Scout. He's going to be seen like, no, I will do right. And Batman's the one that, is in the shadows and branding people because he's hardcore in this
What's
version.
the line that he says? Like, he's like, in my city there's like a clown who wears a silly costume or something like that.
It's Gotham and me.
I'm just kind of tired. I'm kind of used
dressed
to
up
getting
as clowns.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of people of
Little Joker now, which I didn't get the first time because I'm stupid.
Oh no, that was Joker.
Wait, seriously, even with the shot of the Joker's handwriting on.
Which, by the way, I hope they do Nightwing, but I hope that they wait a little bit because I got an idea. I want to talk to someone about it. Anyway, they should do Nightwing. I think it would fit perfectly.
Yeah, in the universe for sure
in this version of Batman. Because you're doing Harley Quinn, so you're doing sidekicks. You're giving the Joker his sidekick. You got to give Batman his. Can we talk about Lex? Because he's like right after this exchange.
I want to talk about Lex.
Please let this be a public face.
I love this character.
Because he's Jesse Eisenberg.
Not only the fact that he's Jesse Eisenberg. I'm going to preface this by just saying that I think a lot of people are really giving this trailer a hard time, and they're really and I'm just kind of tired of a lot of the criticism that people are throwing at this trailer. And I think a lot of people hate this Lex Luthor, and I honestly disagree completely. I think a lot of people are just kind of stuck in the past with how Lex Luthor is always supposed to be this suave, kind of collected, serious character, but I think that having Lex as sort of the jerky, eccentric, sarcastic kind of character that Jesse Eisenberg is so good at playing is so entertaining.
That's the thing.
So they didn't make Jesse Eisenberg into Lex Luthor. They turned Lex Luthor into Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes, that's well said, Max.
Yeah, see, I don't care. I think it's going to be entertaining.
I don't mind it. I just think that, like, I wish that Lex Luthor wasn't somebody that just, like, that Clark Kent could beat up. Like, I wanted him to have this kind of, like, intimidating nature that makes him, like, like that Superman would only be able to beat him. Not Clark Kent, not Bruce Wayne. They would need to be heroes.
Yeah.
You know?
I hope this is the public face. I hope that he's, just talking short, and, wow, dude, not picking fight with this man, like, eccentric, and the jerk is up. Because that's, like, how people want to see him. As, clearly this young, way too young to be this rich and CEO or whatever. He's CEO of the company. Like, he came into money way too quick. He's a jerk. He's a playboy, all that. Because in private, like his actual self, he's the more intimidating. He's that more calculating villain, which Lex should be.
Which I love. I think that's a fantastic balance. I think he has so many great lines in these trailers.
We don't know that because we didn't see the real him. Hopefully.
I think we've seen a couple of shots of the real him.
Look, I love the line, if man won't kill God, the devil will do it. That was good. So hopefully that hints.
Oh yeah, Jesse Eisenberg is responsible for all, like, the best lines in these trailers. Like, it's amazing.
Hopefully that hints that we're going to get a better Lex than that public face. But I'm not going to write it off just because it's a very Jesse Eisenberg-ish character. I'm not going to write it off. I just hope that there's something more to it.
You know what's the most forgotten line in history, Senator? That power can be innocent.
I like how that switched. Like,
I love it.
From the other trailer. It's biggest lie American Senator tells the devils come from below. Come from sky.
You think
and now in this one, it's a different answer. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Just when Jesse Eisenberg was announced to be Lex Luthor, I think everybody was just ready to say, "Wow, Warner Brothers, what a terrible decision!" And I was just here in the corner going, "Like, nope, I am fully
You don't
confident."
ever judge villains based off their casting because that's like it's a
that's
classic story
what
that everybody thought he was
superhero
going to do
fans
as Joker, and look what happened.
Okay, well that's what superhero purists, comic purists do. They look at the casting, see it doesn't resemble what their normal notion is, and they criticize. But I knew that Jesse Eisenberg is an incredibly talented actor. I've seen him.
Yes, but it's okay to be incredibly talented and miscast. That's what I'm worried about. He is a great actor.
I don't think he's miscast.
I
don't think he's miscast here. I think he's doing. I think from the trailers at least, I think he's got some great lines. I love the whole psychotic thing. Like, you're psychotic. It's just a 3-syllable word for ideas that are too big for human minds.
Little minds, yeah.
It's so, and I mean, like, and Sean, you said this movie could either be terrible and silly or really awesome.
Yeah,
and I think
they could pull it off.
Yeah, and I think Lex Luthor is going to be a prime example of that sort of dichotomy. Lex Luthor is either going to be really scary and really intimidating, and it's going to work, or he's going to be so silly and so fun, and it's just going to be so entertaining. Okay,
Look,
at least with Batman v Superman, because Man of Steel, I got bored. I'm sure I'm not going to be bored during Batman v
Right.
Superman, and that's
So-
enough for me.
Let me put it this way. A plan a while ago, before even the plan of Batman Begins and Superman Returns to cross over, there were rumors of the Joel Schumacher movies throwing in Superman.
Huh.
That was like something that was going to be thrown in. And, like, as long as
Wait,
they're
I thought the
Batman
rumors
movies,
is that they're going to bring the Scarecrow and it's going to be played by Howard Stern. That was
that
like
might have been it too. But I remember reading about
Batman Eternity or something like that.
there were talks about that Batman, which I guess is technically still the Burton one, but come on, it's not. Throwing in Superman. This is the Lex Luthor that movie would have.
Yeah.
I hope there's a more intimidating, more calculating, in secret, like behind the facade Lex. We should probably move on. We talked a lot about Lex.
Yeah.
So much
let's see
fun.
what-
I'm
what's
so
going
down.
on here? Like,
Can I say
there were
something
the-
trailery really quick?
Sure.
It was right after this, so I wanted to bring it up. The jump cutting with the music, da da da, and it would like jump
Yeah.
ahead. It works most of the time, and I think it's a pretty unique method. So
Yeah,
I
it's
wanted to just bring
interesting.
that up. I like that editing technique. It works. It didn't work with the whole woman reaching to the sky. It was mistimed, but him walking down the corridor to the camera with his army behind, then it worked. Bum, bum, bum. You know, power can be innocent. Bum, bum, bum. And like came ahead. That was good. It was a good technique. I liked it.
Let's
Yep.
see.
I
I want to
appreciate.
keep going. Like, the action was good. I was enjoying
Yes.
the action. Yes. So if anything, the movie's action scenes will be probably pretty awesome.
Yeah, and
It looks explosive and just really good.
But
I'm
not
really
explosive
excited.
in a sense where it's like, just eye candy. It looks like there's going to be like, well, I don't want to say eye candy. I want to say like, it doesn't look mindless. Like it looks. No, I don't want to say that either. I don't know what to say, but it looks good.
related to mindless destruction, just like Age of Ultron carrying into Civil War, which this is another reason I wanted to do the trailers together. They're so similar. You got your two biggest heroes, one tech, non-powered, fighting one powered, Boy Scout good guy. They're fighting over an ideological issue. And of course, all are set in motion by the previous film's destruction, as in the Sokovia Accords or the freaking destruction of Metropolis. I appreciate that they are working with that just completely atrocious destruction that happened at
Yep.
the end of Man of Steel. Like, horrific, like half the city leveled. Acknowledge that, and they are. That is the whole drama. Bruce Wayne says, "Hey, that was a bit much. That's a bit much." It's kind of maybe that's why I'm also on Team Batman from what I've seen in this movie. Just like I was Team Iron Man, I'm Team Batman from what I've seen, because Superman really should have tried to avoid all that crap.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'd still say that like, here's what I'm wondering: what's Zod doing? Like, why is he still here?
Okay.
What's going on?
Oh, you
We're
don't
going
know?
to talk about that at the end when we get to you know who, because I have some theories on that.
What do you mean?
So do you mind if we
theories? I think
table that?
I think it's pretty obvious, but
Well,
okay.
do you mind if we table it just so we can keep this a
yeah,
little
sure.
chronological? Max, you're the host, so you kind of say.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Can I talk? Actually, no. That idea is kind of to the tabling, so I'll keep my other thought about that in me.
Right.
Another thing about the trailer I would like to point out. We just again about Lex. Why haven't we seen him bald yet?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Why? I'm so confused.
Maybe
Why?
Well, to be fair, his hair actually is very reminiscent of the Lex Luthor in the very first Superman movie, where it's like kind of like very
yeah.
frizzy. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think he loses hair at the end of that.
Yeah,
pretty
because we
sure.
have promotion stills of him bald.
Why? Because do you think the kryptonite gives him cancer or something? That's what people
No.
are saying.
No,
People
there
are
isn't
saying the kryptonite does something to him.
There actually isn't kryptonite, maybe. This trailer kind of... We don't know
Oh,
if there's
really?
kryptonite.
I
yeah,
thought it was. Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe.
might have been a red herring.
I don't know. I don't really have any other thoughts besides for the last thing.
I love the armor Batman's got and the fire cool shots there. They acknowledge what Superman says, "Stay down if you'd be dead. If I wanted it, you'd be dead already." Like, thank you for acknowledging that. Like, Batman's awesome, but I mean, Superman could kill him in like 2 seconds,
Yeah,
especially with no kryptonite. Like, he's a
Exactly.
goner. He's a goner. Can we just finally establish the whole Batman in like the coat and goggles and Superman soldiers, and it's a dream sequence.
Dream sequence.
Because
Yeah,
then there's
they
the shot
revealed
where
that
like these
information.
flying insect-like things are there. Like, that's not fitting the movie. This is clearly some sort of a dream sequence.
that's right. Those weird bug things.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is clearly a dream sequence. So with Batman clearly breaking soldiers' necks as he's flipping them, it's okay. He's not actually killing them. It's a dream sequence. So everyone calm down.
Like, wasn't that revealed? Like, wasn't that confirmed? somewhere.
No, we still haven't got confirmation that's a dream sequence. It just seems
What
so obvious.
are those creatures even? Like, are they just like giant bugs?
Rumored that there are some dark side minions, which is going to be the villain of Justice League most likely, if not Brainiac. The rumor said it's Brainiac. I think it'll be Darkseid. But again, that would make sense to throw in this movie. So it's clearly a dream sequence. Let's get to, we can get to him now.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. So I'm going to say this is the big objection a lot of people have that I join in completely, wholeheartedly, and thoroughly. So at the very end of this trailer, we get to see what is apparently, and I hope this isn't true, but it's most likely the final battle of the film.
Yep.
Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, who just kind of appears, faces off against Doomsday.
Yep.
The villain who famously killed Superman.
See, now here's, just to bring back to Civil War, here's the difference. I don't think Superman dies in this movie.
Oh, no, they would not. No,
because, see, that's why, because Max, your argument is like the comics, MCU doesn't look at the comics. Well, like, this is different. There is no reason to suspect that they'll use the comics thing where Doomsday kills Superman.
Oh, no, Doomsday is going to be... Okay, so first off, why tell us this?
Well, let's be honest. Okay, I knew. It was
there were rumors flying around.
It was so leaked. It was so...
Are you was it? I don't know.
There were rumors flying around that Doomsday was going to be a villain in this universe for a while.
Well, no, that makes sense. But like in Dawn of Justice, we already have so many other things going on.
In this movie, it was like... To me, it was pretty much confirmed. I was... there was zero surprise when Doomsday showed up in the trailer. I'll say that. I was not surprised at all.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised to see Doomsday in general. Maybe just a little peeked at why this movie specifically. But I knew that Doomsday was gonna be a character at some point.
Can we just start with Doomsday looks bad?
He looks...
Yeah, he looks unfinished. I don't think that's like his...
He doesn't.
I think he's gonna look a lot better in the final film.
He doesn't look substantial. He looks like... people made
messy.
the TMNT joke, whatever. He looks a bit like Abomination from Incredible Hulk. Hey, another way to tie back to Civil War. Whatever. Even that doesn't even matter. To me, he doesn't look threatening. He looks like this brown, muscly monster guy. Doomsday's so much more than that.
Well, I think the messiness of the character kind of evoke. I think the messiness of the character kind of evokes just Lex when Lex creates him, which we're pretty
is that what it is? Is it Lex who creates
guys,
Doomsday?
it's Lex creates. He takes Zod's body and makes him into Doomsday.
Or
what
does he? Because that's stupid and
it
just
makes sense.
No Frankenzod. Because you know the original origin of Doomsday?
No,
he just came from the Zod created him.
No,
he came from the Phantom
I'll run through it really quick. Scientist, it might have been scientist. It's a random scientist wanted to create like the ultimate like creature that like is invincible and crap, like it just doesn't die. And so he made like a ton of them, cloned like this simple organism, and then like burned it all. And kept doing this until one survived. Then you clone that one, microscopic organism that survived that, and you did freezing, and they all died. So you do it again, and then one survived the freezing and the burning. So you clone that, and it basically it evolved from like this microorganism to this full blown thing,
cool.
And killed all its clones over and over until the one that survived everything. And then it wrecked the planet, killed the scientists, and literally what it does is Doomsday just drifts in space, destroys a planet, like literally it blows up, drifts in space so it lands on another planet. Destroys it blows up, it drifts in space, lands on another planet, blows it up over and over again. That's a cool villain. That's just invincible because it was bred to not have anything kill it, and just drifts around just wrecking planets. It's literally that planet's Doomsday. That's why it's called that. Don't make it Frankenzod.
I would not be surprised if it's Frankenzod.
Me neither, but there's also the idea that perhaps they were just using Zod's body to awaken Doomsday, because in the comics, Doomsday arrives on Earth a long time ago and is awoken when Superman's around. It's not like he arrives at the same time. So there's a chance that cocoon thing is actually just like a cocoon and not like making Frankenzod. Instead, it's they found Doomsday, can't get him out without Kryptonian stuff, and Zod's body can do it. There's still some hope. I hope it's not Frankenzod.
I guess so, but I think the trailer makes it so obvious to me that they're going to go Frankenzod just with the shot selection. And also, as I was mentioning before, I think the messiness of Doomsday's design is sort of evocative of how sort of kind of crazy Lex is, and perhaps he doesn't go all perfectionist about getting this creature made. He just wants to get it made so that way he can destroy Superman. So
this could be like proto Doomsday.
They mess it up when trying to get Zod as a perfect Doomsday, and instead Zod becomes this deformed looking strange
Why would they bring Zod back though? Like even if it was like a different villain, it's like why? It's like that's like the most environmentally friendly way of bringing back a villain. You recycle it.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense.
It's dumb, but it makes perfect sense.
Again, it wasn't a surprise. It was the worst kept secret of recent
forget the whole secret part. Why give this away? Why tell us like the third act? You never showed third act action in a trailer ever.
Let me give my own little opinion about this, because I do have something to say. I think that people getting all annoyed about how this trailer gives away the whole movie are just overreacting to an incredible degree.
I don't know, man. I think it gives away a lot.
Okay, yes, it gives away. Okay, do we need to see Doomsday? Maybe not. But I think we should keep a few things in mind. First of all, we still don't know anything about what Wonder Woman is doing here, as far as what the movie's.
Does she even talk?
She still doesn't talk. We don't know how she's here, so that's another thing. The movie
still. Give her a line, for God's sake, guys! Come on.
Okay. Yes, I do kind of have some opinions about that, but the point is that is still not given away. Apparently, Aquaman's supposed to be in this film.
So is the Flash. So is
the Flash. So are all these other characters. We haven't seen them. That's another thing this movie hasn't done. Batman has a whole backstory about Robin and Joker. We still barely know anything about that. There's so much about this movie that still has yet to be given away. So
this movie's going to be 4 hours. Jesus.
The fact that we see this creature, Doomsday, is not really that big of a surprise. And let's also keep in mind that comic book fans understand who Doomsday is, and the general public doesn't. Usually. So when they see this huge gray monster, they don't think, oh my god, it's Doomsday. They think, Lex Luthor isn't going to fight Superman.
Yeah,
Lex Luthor's going to create somebody that can.
Yeah. So, I mean, he could also get that giant, cool green suit that he has.
Yes, but that's not established at all as a thing. Not even rumored. So...
Oh, I heard rumors.
They're weaker
Using
than
part
others.
of Zod's suit and stuff and kryptonite. Yeah, I heard.
Well, okay. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull like an Iron Man, where like with the suit, but like, it's just I feel it's just so annoying to me that so many people are like, it's like my roommate and I were talking about this before we started recording, and he just thought they give away the conflict and the resolution in one trailer.
We already know the resolution, though. We know Justice League will happen.
Yeah,
Iron Man and Superman are going to get along at the end. This can't be that surprising.
Yeah, this is human nature. Of course, Batman and Superman are going to eventually have to team up if this gigantic monster is going to ravage throughout the city. This is a typical superhero thing. We've seen this done so many times. And of course, we know the Trinity are going to fight together.
Yeah. By the way, can we just talk about the amazing Wonder Woman shot?
Yeah, that's a great shot, by the way. And the great line that comes after that.
She on your side? No,
I actually like that humor.
That's a great little exchange, actually.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Honestly, just imagine if we didn't know Wonder Woman was in this movie and this trailer hit. How amazing would that have been? It's like, wait, who's behind the shield?
Warner Brothers.
Boom.
Oh my god!
It's Wonder Woman. What? And then that final shot, which
that would have been so amazing. Oh my god!
I love that last shot. The DC Trinity is there: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and she's front and center in that shot.
Although Batman's holding a gun.
Yeah.
What is he holding? I don't know.
It's a grenade launcher. It's a gun.
Oh, it's a grenade launcher? Oh, okay.
I mean, it's pretty much a gun.
I couldn't
wait. Batman's holding a grenade? What?
Yeah, he's holding a grenade launcher in that final
shot. That's not Batman. Oh, that's not what Batman does.
I mean, he has a grenade launcher.
Well, I don't know. Okay, the point of the matter is, I really like this trailer. I think there are a lot of great shots. I think they perfectly establish the conflict between Batman and Superman on a personal level, while also establishing the conflict on just a violent level. Like,
Amy Adams is still in this. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I don't know what she's going to be doing in the movie.
It's a crowded movie.
Yeah, it's a very crowded movie.
Maybe people complain about like villain crowding a lot, and I don't think that's big. I think if a movie's just too crowded, it's just like a problem. Like, look, you got two different universes. I mean, we won't see Robin. Like that's already, but we're supposed to be seeing at least cameos of a bunch of Justice League members alongside the supporting members of Superman's crew, and maybe like one or two of Batman's crew, and also Wonder Woman, and also Doomsday, and also Lex. It's like this may be too much for one film. I'm glad they're not doing it part 1, part 2, though. That's that might be a little bit too silly, but I don't know. It might be too much. I hope. Even if the movie's bad, I want there to be an extended edition, like a really nice extended edition.
Maybe,
because I would watch the heck out of that.
I would too. I think that a lot of these characters, like Lois Lane, are not really going to get that much, and not even Alfred, I don't think, are really going to get that much time to like about their characters. I think they're just sort of They're just sort of pieces of the background. And I know that's not really a great way to think about it, because these are great characters, but that's just sort of their role. When you have so many big characters in a movie, you have to, like, it's like, of course Alfred's in the Batman universe, because he's one of the most, he's directly affiliated with Bruce Wayne. So it's just the characters we have. And we're going to get great performances alongside that. I mean, Jeremy Irons is going to be so great as Alfred. So
yeah, and that also might be a problem. Like, this might also be sort of like you know what? I think I just foresaw what could be the biggest problem with the movie. It's that this movie might be trying to be sort of like also a preview of what's to come in this universe.
Oh yeah, totally.
Sort of like what ASM2 did, but not as terribly, hopefully.
They're rushing so quick to Justice League because Avengers has already beaten them to it by 3 years.
Right.
Well, I mean,
4 years, actually.
Yeah. Like, and, I mean, look, I know it's okay to play catch-up, but to be fair, ASM2 tried to do the same thing with, like, trying to establish a huge universe immediately, and it just didn't work. Time and planning are your friend. Go after it. People are going to go see a Justice League movie no matter what. So instead of rushing to it, why not, like, spend time establishing every single hero and then do the biggest event, the Justice League movie, that the world will flock to and destroy Avengers by a long shot. Imagine if all these prequel movies, like, not prequel movies, all these origin movies came before Justice League, all 7 of them.
That'd be intense.
It would be very intense, perhaps too intense for some, but it would be better than just, like, rushing all the way to Justice League and then doing, like, prequel movie, or then doing origin stories, like, in between the 2 parts and after and also before. It just, yeah. You know, are they still doing Justice League Dark? Is that a thing that's happening?
I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if it's confirmed yet.
And I say that knowing that there's a lot of this is probably going to be, like, not, let's see. The original plan is probably going to be changed. Like, the big plan that I had to do with this, and Flash, and Green Lantern coming out in 2020, like, all that stuff, I think that's going to be, like, reshuffled, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, probably.
This has the opportunity to have team-up movies of, like, it's funny, in the Avengers, it's like Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, like, those are the 3, but with Justice League, you have to have, like, the 7 members. Isn't it 7?
Yeah,
7 key ones.
Yeah.
7 key
So,
members.
like, I would love to see a Flash and Batman movie, or like just them to, not Flash v Batman, Dawn of Snark.
Yeah.
Like, I would like just them, like, together, like, working together, kind of like what some Justice League episodes used to do back in the cartoon days. So I don't know, like, this. I want this movie to be great, just as I want every movie to be great. But, like, it's going to be a little bit more bumpy than Marvel. At least with Marvel, you know they were very careful with how they were driving.
DC movies are always more bumpy than Marvel ones. It's just going in. And I hate the fact that stigma exists, but it's just, with the past things that they've done in their movies, it's just what you have to expect.
Again, still proving to us that Christopher Nolan may not have been a good influence for this new universe.
Look, no, let's be honest. Zack Snyder has already made it his. There's no drop of Nolan in Man of Steel. That's very Snyder.
No, that's Nolan. That's Superman. That's Nolanized Superman. That's
that's
big
Snyder. like watching like 300. Like, this is what Snyder does. This was Snyder, and this was Goyer. Meh.
Well, I mean, I think it's fair to say that Man of Steel was Snyder trying to be Nolan, I think, in some respects. But I think now,
I don't know.
Now with BvS, it's pretty Snyder.
Let me say this. I watched the Batman vs Superman trailer. Nolan would never do anything like this.
Oh,
this doesn't look Nolan at all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's true. Nolan would never. Like, you know what I'd love to see? I would love to see, like they're fighting and, like, just Christian Bale as a cameo. He's just, like, in a bar and he's like, this is stupid. He just drinks just drinks some, like, wine or whatever, and like, he's with Christopher Nolan. He's like, I know, right? These heroes fight each other.
It's like terrible. Wolverine's cameo in First Class.
Yeah.
Can we have your help? Screw you.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. All right. I think that's enough, though. I think
we're done. Yeah.
So, I didn't actually get a chance to ask. Did you like the Dawn of Justice trailer, guys? Did you like it?
Yes.
I really like the Dawn of Justice trailer.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's good. The last thing with Doomsday, I just wish it could have been kept under wraps. But that's just me. I'm looking forward to both movies. Civil War a little bit more, but also Dawn of Justice because it looks, at the very least, very ambitious.
Yeah. Do you want to do, like, a final thesis on both?
Yeah. Let's do it. Sean, theses on.
I would
those.
say Batman vs Superman has a better trailer, and I'm more interested in Batman vs Superman, as I'm curious to see it. That being said, I'm obviously way more excited for Civil War. It's almost certainly going to be a better movie, just with what the studios put out. I've liked every Marvel movie way more than Man of Steel. That's just kind of like what I'm going by. Like,
Yeah,
What?
well-
Wait, what?
Well,
it's just I think Civil War is definitely going to be a better movie, so I'm more excited for it. However, I'm more interested to see how they pull off Batman vs Superman. So,
Why did you say Iron Man 3 Man of Steel? What?
what?
no, he says Man of Steel he hated Man of Steel.
I like
Basically.
every single Marvel movie more than Man of Steel by a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So,
By a lot.
judging by what they've put out before, I have way more faith in Marvel. They're not going to screw up Civil War. They've never messed
Nope.
up.
Yeah, and the Russo brothers are some of the most talented guys.
Yeah, they're not going to mess it up. It's so safe. It's so safe. I'm not worried at all about Civil War. Batman vs Superman, it can go bad. It can go really bad. So
It always
we'll have to
can.
see if it does.
Oh, my turn? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's actually quite fascinating how similar both of these movies are.
Oh, yeah.
Not only in
Would you
just
think
their
that was intentional?
Well, yeah, that's why I suggested this episode.
Well, right. I mean, not only necessarily about the character setup, but also just the overall conflict. We're dealing with one character who sort of doesn't like another character because he sort of acts with unlimited power,
Well, yeah, that's the point. Yeah, they're both the
which
same.
I think is fascinating. I think these movies are the different approach here, though, is that one seems much more focused than the other, which is really where we get a little bit of bumpiness. I think Civil War is going to be great. I'm not worried about Civil War. That's fine. The thing about Batman vs Superman is one of the main reasons I don't like Man of Steel is because I wasn't entertained by most of it. I found it quite boring. And as I mentioned earlier, this movie looks anything but. And I think that's kind of why when I watched the Man of Steel trailers for the first time, I was like, oh boy, here we go. You know, with the pretentious butterfly and the swing set chain shot.
Oh, I love that trailer.
It's so pretentious. But this movie just it feels like
Superman! Superman is allowed to be important.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's not allowed to be important. I'm
Guys,
just saying that shot is very
Let's not get into
pretentious.
this. We should wrap this up.
What I'm saying is, I think that this movie is embracing much more of what it really should be. Just an all-out, this is going to be huge, sort of movie. And I think the trailers perfectly evoke that. I like the Batman vs Superman trailer more than the Civil War one, but that's just because I love Lex Luthor. I love Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. It's going to be so entertaining. But yeah, both these movies are going to be entertaining. Hopefully BvS doesn't suck. Yeah.
Yeah. Are we done?
Yeah.
Well, no, I want to say something.
Oh, I
real
thought you
quick.
did.
Well, no, I said something about the first trailer. Okay, Civil War trailer was good, not great. Batman vs Superman trailer is, I think, a little bit better, but only because it is not compromising. It is just going all out, and I appreciate that. I'm excited for both of these movies. Again, Winter Soldier might be one of my favorite movies of all time at this point, and easily one of my favorite action movie. So the follow up is, I might have some expectations whether I like it or not. Batman vs Superman does have my interest a little bit more. I'm glad it's coming out in March. That's
don't have
nice
to
instead
wait
of having to wait all the way until May. I mean, those movies were supposed to share the same day, which I would have loved to do that weekend. That would have been an awesome weekend.
But it was so cute when DC was like, "Oh yeah, no, we're not moving, and then they did.
Yeah, and it's funny that because I think originally they were going to come out on the same day as Ant-Man. The Man of Steel sequel was supposed to come out on the same day as Ant-Man, and that would have been actually really easy to crush.
Yeah.
But my point is, I'm excited for both. I think Civil War, yes, will be an ultimately better made movie, but really, if I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, I'm more excited for Doctor Strange over both of these.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, Fantastic Beasts. Also, yeah.
Well,
Like,
that's
I'm gonna
not,
be totally
that's not
honest.
surprising.
Just because Doctor Strange is what is this movie? I want to see it because it's not just, the action superhero fest that we're going to be seeing in the first part of the year. But of course, we'll get to that when we see the trailer in freaking 6 months.
Yep.
Anyway, we should get out of here, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed this little dissection. Next time, a review from Larry and I. Am I right, Larry?
And
That's right.
a small possibility of me.
Yeah, maybe. But
Yeah.
it's a
Do we
movie
really
that
have
you
to,
probably have heard of.
Do we really
What?
have to keep it secret?
No, I already said it.
Creed!
Creed. We're probably going to review Creed. Because I have a lot
I'm
to say now that I've thought about it for a couple days.
And then,
Yes.
Star
And then-
Wars!
and we still don't know who's hosting. Give us a challenge, because if we don't get a challenge, can't think of anything, it's going to go default to me. Which I guess I shouldn't be
Battlefront
complaining
Showdown. I'll
about.
destroy you both.
Yeah, if Larry had a PS4, I would be so happy with that, but he doesn't. So,
Oh.
Actually,
Well,
well,
blame
actually,
Larry.
my roommate does have a PS4.
does
Does he have
Battlefront?
Battlefront?
Yes, he does.
Yes, it's going to happen.
Let's do it!
But it's the beta though.
Well, then that's not. What are you talking? Then rent it or something.
Yeah,
I have a
Find
couple
a way
friends who have Battlefront. I might be able to
Battlefront is incredibly popular.
Okay.
Somebody in your area has to have it.
We're totally going to do a Battlefront fight.
I will
but
destroy
I
both
suck
of you
at
guys. It's not
shooting.
even going to be funny.
I haven't played it yet. I have to play it and get accustomed to the modes, and we can kind of talk about what mode is going to be. Like, how do we decide? You know, it's not going to be. Can it be 1v1v1? Or are we going to go against? I don't know. We'll have to decide.
Something
but
private
Suck at
matches are actually
shooting.
available. Whatever. Oh, I think there's, or maybe like we play survival mode and see which one like racks
who
the
gets the
most points.
farthest? Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
We'll decide. This isn't something for the podcast. We should
All
definitely.
right. Anyway, we should get out of here. We all have stuff to do. But until Creed, guys, here's Slated.